Hello students, in this video we are going to see about system interconnect architectures. In case of multiprocessor and multi-computer architecture and its system, arranging the processors and memory models, shared memory models and I/O devices which are involved in that architecture is somewhat complicated and it follows some taxonomy. Arranging this kind of these processors, memory models and I/O disk, we are following some networking systems. What are these networking systems means? First one is direct network and second one is indirect networks. So this direct networks will be associated with static connections, and indirect networks is associated with dynamic connections. What is meant by static network and dynamic network then? Static networks are point to point direct connections and which will not be changed during the program execution. So the static connections are a permanent connections between the nodes and its memory models and I/O devices and disk arrays and everything, and this connection will not be changed in the program execution time. So that is what it is called as static network. Dynamic network. As the name itself, the connections between the processors and above elements, memory models, I/O disk arrays will be changed. How it can be changed means based on the communication demand in the user programs. So that kind of networks will be most suitable for multi-tasking and multi-programming environment. Based on the user inputs and user task, that connections between the processes will be changed. So that is what it is implemented with switched channels. Okay. So static networks are the point-to-point direct connection which will not be changed during the program execution, and whereas dynamic networks are the implemented with the help of switched channels, and the connections between the nodes will be changed based on the communication demand in the user programs. So this is the main two different concepts which we must know before going to see about the connections, how connection between each node, what is the taxonomy we are following, what is meant by node, and what is the network size, everything and all, right? So let us see the terminologies involved in this static connections. What are the terminologies? First we must know the network size. How we can measure the network size? It's nothing but the total number of nodes in a graph. Say for example, you are going to plan a one network. It may be a small network or local area network or wide area network. Means how many number of computers and how many number of nodes you are inserting, you are including in the network is called as a network size. Say for example, I am going to make a one network with a 50 computers, means my network size is 50. Okay, it's a simple thing. Number of nodes in a graph is called as a network size. Then what is meant by node degree? It is represented by the letter called D. So what is meant by node degree means number of edges incident on a node. Okay, so how many number of edges incident on a particular node is called as a node degree. If you say for example, if you have taken a unidirectional node graph, unidirectional means from one edge to another edge. It's not a bidirectional, it's a unidirectional. So in the connection only from network node to node means that kind of systems, that kind of unidirectional architecture. Or how we can measure node degree means first we will go with in degree and out degree. What is meant by in degree? The number of edges incident and the number of edges into the connected into the network is called as in degree, and number of edges out from the node is called as out degree. Say for example, you are having one node called D. That node is connected with various number of nodes. The in degree will be calculated as number of edges into the node, and out degree is calculated as number of edges out from the node. Okay, as a total, what is meant by node degree means node degree is called as in degree plus out degree. So the addition of in degree and out degree is called as a node degree in case of unidirectional graph. In case of a bidirectional or without a direction, if the graph is written means it's drawn means node degree is nothing but total number of edges incident on a node. Okay, are you clear? I hope you understand. Fine. Then what is the next term? Diameter. Diameter of a one network is defined as a maximum shortest path between two nodes. If you take A is one node and this destination is E, means what is the maximum shortest path we can travel from A node to E degree is E node. This is called as diameter D. Okay, so diameter D is a maximum shortest path between two nodes and it is measured by the number of links traveled. How many links it was traveling from this node to that node is calculated as diameter D. Okay, fine. What is the next terminology means? Channel bisection width. It is represented by small b. What is meant by channel bisection width means if you cut the total graph into two halves, two parts. So if you have drawn one graph, if you divide the graph into two parts means the minimum number of edges cut into a split, cut to a split in a network in two parts, each having a same number of nodes. So the minimum number of edges, in one part is called as a channel bisection width. Okay, so channel bisection width is nothing but if you cut the graph into two halves, if you take one half, one part, minimum number of edges in a one part is called as a bisection width. What is meant by wire bisection width means each channel has some bit. If you go with one channel means channel is having 8 bits or like 16 bits, like that it is having one bitwise width. So that bitwise width is called as a wire bisection width. It is represented by capital B. Okay, so this capital B is nothing but small b into width because W is a bit wire and B is a bisection width. So if you multiply small b with wire W bits, you will get wire bisection width, that is called as capital B. Okay, then what is meant by channel length? The length is defined as edges between nodes. If you take one node to another node, how the edges is called as a length. Okay, so these are all the important terminologies involved in a static network architecture. Then what are the data routing functions involved in the static network connection means data routing is used for inter-processing elements data exchange. So you have the n number of processes connected in a one network. This data, what is the importance of this data routing function means it is only used for communication. It is exchanging information between the processors. If you take one processor, one processing element will be there. This processing element is represented by PE. That PE is, if you want to exchange some information from one PE to another PE means this data routing functions will be useful. Okay, what are the data routing functions available means first one is shifting, rotating, permutation, broadcast, multicast, personalized broadcast, shuffle, exchange and etc. Nearly we have 8 different kinds of data routing functions in this network. What are those means? Shifting of bytes. Rotating will rotate the bitwise will rotate the bits. Permutation is one of a way of exchanging information from one node to another particular node. Broadcast, as we all know that broadcast is nothing but it's sending one message to all on community persons. So broadcast. Multicast is different from broadcast. Broadcast is best example for broadcast is All India Radio. Airwise we are broadcasting the one message. Multicast is nothing but you have one group of organization one group, particular group, you are going to that group is going to post one message to particular group. That means how we will create a WhatsApp group? No, that only if you post one message means that particular WhatsApp group only can able to receive it. So that kind of messages are that kind of sending messages are called as multicast. Then personalized broadcast, one to many. Okay. Likewise, shuffle, exchange are the data routine, different data routine functions available in the static network function. Then what is we will see the best and common popularly used data routine functions. First one is permutation. Permutation is, if you take n object, if n is an input means there are n factorial ways in which they can be ordered. Okay. So if you take one n objects means n factorial ways of arranging or reordering the elements is possible. Here permutation is specified by giving a rule to reorder a group of objects. Okay. So permutation is a one-to-one connection only. This allows to reorder a group of objects. Okay. Then how we can implement permutation? Permutations can be implemented using crossbar switches, multi-stage networks, shifting and broadcast operations. Okay. Crossbar switches and multi-stage networks and all we will see in the next chapter. The time required to perform the permutations of the connections between nodes often dominates the network performance when n is large. Okay. When n object is large, the time required to perform the permutation of the connection between nodes often dominates the network performance. So here this is the disadvantage of this permutation, because if you go with higher volumes of n objects means the permutation will not be the good solution for the data routine function. Okay. Then we move on to perfect shuffle and exchange. So the perfect shuffle is nothing but we are shuffling the bits in some order. Shifting one byte to left and wrapping it around the least significant bit position is one best example of perfect shuffle. Say for example 001 is my input. I want to shift this input to another one order means how we can order a shuffle means in the perfect shuffle what they are following. They are moving the first bit, LSB bit to the next immediate bit of LSB. Then the next bit to LSB is moved as a LSB to the in the destination. This 001 what will happen? The 1 will move to the right side. So what will happen? The again 0 will move to the 0. So at the end, at that conversion, at the result of conversion, what you will get means 010. Okay. So this is an example of perfect shuffle. And third one is hypercube routine functions. Hypercube routine function means we are following some cube architecture, cuboids. It is called as cuboids. So how it will be executed means it starts from 3 cube. We have more number of dimensional cubes. The basic example will start with 3 cubes. So it is called as cuboid. So here n dimensional cubes are labeled with n bit numbers, so that only one bit differs in each pair of adjacent vertices. Then n routine functions are defined by its in the node address. For example, 3-dimensional cube means it starts from 0000 at the origin position, then 001 will come, 0011 will come, like that you will be having 3 to the power of 3, 27 edges. Okay, 27 edges you will be having. Likewise, this routine will differ. Then, what are the different types of static networks? So before that we will see different types. Once again we will review this system interconnect architecture. First one is static connection network and second one is dynamic network. Static network are point-to-point direct connection. Dynamic networks will be changed during the program execution And terminologies means first terminology is network size. Network size is nothing but number of nodes in a graph, and diameter is nothing but maximum shortest path between two nodes, and bisection width is nothing but if you cut the graph into two parts, the minimum number of edge in a one part is considered as bisection width. And length is also same thing, it is calculated as a number of edges between the nodes. And some of the routine functions are permutation and perfect shuffle and hypercube routine function, right? I hope you understand this basic concept of system interconnect network. In the next video, we are going to see about how this static network is implemented in a realistic way. In real-time environment, how the static networks are implemented, and what are the types of static networks available in the computer architecture and all. We'll see in the next video. Thank you.